Hey guys, what's up? So today we are going to be looking at how you guys can improve your setup with 5 free and easy steps, guys. Now, disclaimer, I am not perfect, okay? These are just tips and tricks and things I think you should do. Even my setup isn't perfect, but these are things that I think that you should at least try to put, and these are all free things because I know most of you guys don't have the time or the budget to go out, buy things, and do all that stuff. So let's go right into it. But, yo, the background's looking kind of plain, eh? Doesn't look a little, like, holiday festive-y? I got you guys. Don't worry. Hey, we got that Christmas tree in the house, eh? Can you guys see it? No? Yeah? No? Yeah, whatever. At least I tried, guys. Anyways, guys, comment down below. Do you think that looks nice? Looks trash? I don't know. Leave your opinions in the comments below. One more thing, guys. You already know. You gotta subscribe, okay? This big red button that you can't miss down there, okay? Go smash it without breaking the screen, okay, that you're watching on. Go smash the subscribe button. Turn on post notifications so that you are part of the Mercy fam, guys. Also, leave a like on this video after you watch the whole entire thing, because there are tips that you will not find anywhere else and things you really want to listen into to improve your setup. Also, guys, follow me on all my socials, on my Instagram, TikTok, they're all linked below, and join our Discord server because there is a ton of behind the scenes stuff and all that sort of stuff as well. That sort of stuff is also on my socials, so go do all of that. So now let's get into 5 tips and tricks to improve your setup for free. So category or tip number 1 is positioning your setup. This is a pretty important one, so listen up. Take out your notepads, whatever you do, whatever you want to do, you got to remember this stuff. Or if you're gonna do this right now, just listen up, okay, guys? First thing you want to do in terms of positioning, you want to get everything symmetric, okay? You want to have this symmetric thing. If you have 2 speakers, you want to put it equal distance from your monitor or your TV, as you can see in this picture of my setup here. We got the 2 speakers on the side of the main monitor. You want the monitor right in the center of your setup. If you have 2 monitors, you want the 2 monitors spaced out perfectly, that sort of stuff. All these little details, getting everything symmetric really matters. And this also kind of leads into the second piece that we're going to talk about, is in terms of positioning, is evenly spacing your items. Again, it comes down to the same thing. You don't want to pack everything right next to each other, right close, That's not what you want to do. You don't want to have say your assistant and a speaker right next to each other, and then this huge gap, and your monitor. You want to have everything nice, neat, organized, positioning. You have a plant. Maybe you have a fake plant on your desk. You want to have the spacing right. It's hard to imagine until you kind of go do it, but you really want to do that. And then one more thing you got to look at. Your setup should work for you, okay? It should be convenient. Do you need, say if you have a laptop, do you need to be removing it out all the time? Put your wires in that sort of way, put things around it. You want to build it upon convenience, or else what's gonna happen is, for maybe showing someone, you're gonna build your setup out a certain way, and then you're gonna realize, oh wait, I need to do this in an everyday situation. Your setup's slowly gonna start getting messy, and that's not what we want. You want a setup that works for you all the time, and a setup that can fulfill your aesthetic needs and your convenience needs. And then the final thing that we need to talk about in terms of positioning is aesthetic. Does it look nice? Say if you have your PC on your desk, does it look nice in terms of can you get the cables nicely managed? Can everything fit together without looking weird? Because even in my setup, I could have I could put the monitor to one side, but that won't look as nice on my desk because I have 2 speakers also. So just what you want to do, right? First thing, right? Before you try to redo your setup, improve your setup, anything, just look at your setup and think in your mind, what are your needs, okay? Look at your setup. How is my setup right now? What are the problems right now? You want to incorporate that as your needs. You need to fix those problems, and then look at what will look nice. And that's kind of while you're positioning, look at it. Does this look nice, or is just like some extra stuff that I'm doing unnecessary? So now let's move into tip number 2. This is a pretty basic one, and something you should do even if you don't have a setup. Cleaning. Okay? It's simple, guys. Don't take a picture, or just don't live with a setup with crumbs all over the desk. Your floor has like cat hair or something in it, you know. You need to wipe down your desk like properly, you know, clean that desk with just some spray, okay? Clean your keyboard, mouse pad, you know, just clean all of it up. Vacuum the floor, okay? Make sure there's not like any junk and like just, you know, wrappers or anything just laying around your setup, because that really takes away, and it really isn't something that you should have in your setup. And then this is another thing that kind of comes in as a part of cleaning. You need to organize your stuff and take away the things that you don't need on your desk. See, I can have my everyday, you know, books, textbooks here or there, right? I can maybe have some tape, I can have a stapler, you know, I can have 5 pencils on my desk. All you gotta do is put that stuff where it should be. And like your setup, now I'm not saying that your setup should be clean at all times. Mine gets pretty messy, but what you want to do is from time to time, maybe every day, like at the end of every day, at the end of every other day, you know, take like 5 minutes, just quickly put everything where it should go, and your setup will just always feel fresh. Okay guys, and now this next thing that I'm going to talk about, probably one of the most hardest to execute, the most important, and the most time consuming and annoying thing there is out there: cable management. Now most of you guys don't cable manage your setups because either you don't know what to do, or you think it's just like a hassle that you shouldn't take. But let me tell you this, you really should do this. And now I'm gonna talk about a ton of tips and things you can do to cable manage, but I'm telling you, even this segment in this video, it won't be enough. I probably should even just make a separate video just talking about cable management. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want a separate video of just cable management tips, and maybe even just cable management with me, how I do my cable management. Let's get into it, okay? First step, right? So what you want to do is look at all your wires. A lot of times wires cross over and stuff. You want to untangle all your wires. You want to have them straight. If you want to you want to see where the wire is going, and make sure there's not another wire just like going around it, because it just gets really messy like that. And honestly, it even kind of, if you're running short in terms of cable length, if it's like tangled around something, that'll take away from the length of the cable. So just take your time, untangle everything, place it out nicely. And the next thing you want to do is you want to look where all it's going. Say you have cables going up to your monitor. You want to bunch them up, okay? That's another thing that most people don't do. And while cable managing, you want to bunch it all up. You want to put it together. And when you put it together, then you need to secure it, okay? This is where most people miss. Even in one of our setup, I think it was episode 2, we had a setup where somebody bunched it up, but he didn't secure it to something. Now, what do I mean by securing? This is the thing that brings the cleanliness to your setup. You want to use something like these twisties, rubber bands, or even like tape. Here, I'll explain all the roles of those, okay? You can use these rubber bands that you probably have lying around the house or somewhere like that to bunch up your cables, or just generally, you can even just use these to like kind of tidy them up. So that comes under the bunching up part. Then you have these twisties. These are very convenient because these give you a bit more flexibility if you need to change something around. You know, you need to pull out a wire. All you got to do is untwist it, pull out the wire, and twist it back. So these give a lot of flexibility. These come in like all packaging and sort of stuff. You should have this. And then the tape, right? The tape that's not here, but like you want to use tape to secure it down. You don't want the tape showing too much, because again, that takes away from the setup. But there's some pretty good ways you can tape things down to your desk or wherever to move them out of the way. If you have wires coming down, you can bunch them up, but you're gonna see them on the back of your table. Like if you don't have a back on there, right? So what you want to do is you want to just take them to the leg of the table, and you just want to secure it with some tape. And you also want to look at this. Are there any cables that you're gonna want to remove from your setup, or like that you're gonna need to move all the time? You know, you need to, again, that comes into like the convenience aspect that I talked about in terms of positioning. This applies to cable management also. Look at your convenience. What is convenient for you? That's very important to keep your setup long lasting, clean. Okay, so now we have talked about so much stuff in this video, and that was all mostly about like positioning it to look good and be convenient, cleaning your desk, just tidying things up, and obviously tidying up your cables, cable management, which is a huge factor, guys. If you have a cable management setup, you want to do it. That's the bare minimum that you can do, and it doesn't cost anything. As I said, you can use these household items to cable manage, okay guys? So you guys should do that. But now here's the thing that we got to talk about: aesthetics. Now again, you can go out, spend tons of money, buy like RGB lights and that stuff, but there are aesthetical things that you can do without even spending that much money. First thing is wallpapers. Wallpapers make a huge difference. The wallpaper that's on your PC or whatever screen, whatever your main device is, that matters a lot. Choose something somewhat subtle, but you know, it should have some colors that might pop a little. I'll put a few examples here. Not too many colors either. You just want something like nice. Now if you have like some personal picture that you want to put, sure, you can put that, but I don't think that's a fit for like aesthetic setup. If you're focusing on aesthetic, then you should do that. Say if you have some green aspects in your setup, say you have white speakers, you want a complementing like somewhat white wallpaper, because it's just gonna make it look the flow. And then guys, you also want to, let's say you have some RGB or something. This is not out there for everyone. You don't need to buy RGB to make a setup look good, but make sure to have a total of 2 or 3 colors in your setup. If your wallpaper has like a blue and like a darker shade of blue purple, then you want to set your lights to a blue and like a purple. You don't want to mix the colors. I mean, some people like that, but don't mix your colors too much. If you're going out to buy new things for your setup, try to match a color scheme, because that will really make it look nice. But if you can't do that and you're working with what you have, like most people do, then you can still improvise and make things match your setup. And now for the final thing, this is just something extra I'm just gonna throw into this video. Some greenery or fake plants. If you can find some fake plants, greenery, it just adds like this little bit of a nicer vibe, you know, plants like this one and this one. So yeah guys, let me know in the comments below if you think I missed something, any other tips and tricks that you have in mind. I might make like a part 2 to this video, or maybe a single video explaining more in cable management, because right now I just talked to you guys as a sit down video. Maybe you want more of like a in-depth video of how I did my stuff. And if you want more of a vision of what like I'm talking about, go check out my setup tour video, because that'll give you a very good representation of like how to apply things, like how to tape things down, you know. Again, I'm not perfect, so don't come at me in the comments section below that like, yo, but like why would you do this, and like you're not even doing this in your setup. These are things that I just sat down and brainstormed, and things that somewhat my setup have applied. Again, it's all about the convenience factor. You gotta make it convenient for it to work. But as always guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you like this video, leave a like. If you haven't already watched Setup Duels, check out episode 1 and 2. They're gonna be there and linked just down below. But yeah guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope you guys are all doing well. Stay safe and we out.